What's happening, people? Welcome to another episode of the Realist Debates with myself, the Realist One, Jay.
This is Lengman Joseph from Around the Ways, aka Joey Leng, but just call me Joey, please.
Please.
And Rams. I'm Ramoya, but you can call me Rams. I'm here to put in the female perspective on today's session.
Lovely. I feel as though whenever I come, my intro always throws off the next person.
It definitely does.
Froze up the day. I was like,
I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. But thank you, first and foremost, for agreeing to come on today and give us your perspective about blue therapy. So this is one that I didn't even intend to watch, first and foremost, but I kept seeing it on the socials, Twitter, IG, blog pages, etc. And I thought, you know what, let me give this one a watch. And yeah, I was hooked from episode 1. Absolutely hooked. But I want to break it down a little bit. So I know obviously there's about 6 episodes, and then there's the whole aftermath show, which still hasn't been completed yet, but we'll get onto that later on. But let's kind of take it on a bit of a journey and just look at kind of the first 6 episodes with Jamel and Deborah. And what was quite interesting, is episode 1, Deborah showed her hand. And I remember, because I think, Jay, I watched it, I'd watched more episodes than you had.
mm-hmm.
And the one thing that you was like is Deborah's done out here.
Wow.
And I said, keep watching.
We all had the same impression. We were like, oh, nah, she's finished. She's doing the most. Her expectations are unrealistic. The guy's out here trying to hustle and bustle for her and for them. And then...
how the tables turn. But do you know what the mad thing is because, like you said, you had watched more episodes of me. Lord knows how this thing flew over my head. I don't know, but I was late to the party. But soon as that episode dropped, I was texting Joey like, man, what is this Deborah chick on, bruv? She's tapped all sorts. So yeah, I wasn't a fan from the get-go, but yeah, it could have. Yeah.
So because looking at her, I'll throw this to you, Rams. Her thing was, she was saying, I want a man that provides for me. But she was very clear on the show or therapy of what that looks like. She's like, I need Prada bags. I need Gucci. I think there was a
Gucci
bucket hat involved, all of this. But where, like, if we had to hazard a guess, where do you think it stems from?
So I feel like she kept talking about her dad, and her dad provides for her mom and her 5 siblings or something like that. And she's always had this, I guess, picture perfect relationship with her dad, and has the expectation that a man's going to provide for her in the same way. I think the thing that was bizarre for me though is you're saying, oh, I can do all of this stuff for myself. I was taking myself to Sexy Fish, and me and my girls are going here, there, and everywhere. So buy your own bucket hat.
I mean, yeah, that's what triggered me into mashing up my phone, texting off Joey like, yo, this is a fully grown woman on camera in Balenciaga talking about how you must provide. And like you said, Ram, it stems from her father, like, being that, and she's now relaying that onto her man, which to a certain aspect, you can model your partner on your father and the upbringing that he's given you or whatever. But in terms of the excess that she went to, yeah, I thought it was mad.
Sorry, I think the only thing that as much as I feel like she was a little bit eccentric, doing the most a little bit, I kind of get it at the same time, because if you set your standard as something and someone gets into a relationship under the premise of this is who I am, and she's very clear on who she is, how are you going to be mad at it? Yeah. You knew who she was when you were getting in bed with her, so you can't be mad now. So I think because of that, as much as she was doing a lot, I feel like there are a lot of girls out here that are doing far more and expecting far more. And I think obviously the guys bought you a Gucci bag or whatever it was last week. Just chillax, calm down.
They're not cheap.
Yeah, so I remember one specific thing where he was just like, oh, he bought her something, and then
She
was talking about a holiday or something, and he's just like, "Yo, like I just like done. Can we just can we let my balance like redress a little bit?" And she's like, "Why can't we do both?" And it's like,
but I think it's mad. Like, if you're in a relationship with someone, isn't it about a partnership? And I think it's clear that this is her first relationship and that she's young, because that's where her mentality comes from, where it's like, oh, you know, it's one-sided, you must be a provider. I'm sorry, even if my partner is expected to be a provider, I still would like to feel like I'm putting my part in, contributing a bit, even if it's you pay for the flight and I pay for the hotel, that kind of vibe. But again, it comes back to, if your values are this and your upbringing is this and your expectation is that I'm going to get into a relationship and I'm just going to save my coin, stack my money in my bank account and pretend as if I don't go to work every day and my partner pays for everything, then do you, boo-boo?
Yeah.
And do you know what as well? So when we was talking about like it, a lot of this stems from her dad. And I totally get that there'll be a lot of people that will look at, for example, their parents and want to see some of the qualities in their parents that they see in their partners. But when I was watching episode 1, right, and she was talking about kind of, I get this from my dad, like he has, I think, 5 daughters and a wife and provides that. I'm thinking, I want to meet your dad, you know, because he must have a spine of reinforced steel because I was looking at it thinking, my man's creating a monster. Like, this is Frankenstein's monster. Like,
I mean, 6 needy women.
Yeah, like what? I can't even put it into words, but just when I was watching like her expectations of what she wanted, I was thinking, right now, you're disturbing the king's peace. My man is looking at building a future, but you're talking about momentary, materialistic things. Like, you guys are on 2 absolutely different planes.
That's what irked me as well. Is they seem so distant in terms of their kind of goals and aspirations. Like, he's there literally saying, look, I'm trying to build this for us. But at the same time, I feel he was slightly telling her, you're derailing, man, because I'm building this for us and you want Gucci bags and holidays. Like, he's trying to talk about investments and bigger pictures. And she's just like, well, I need my man to do this, that, and the other. So my question for them really is like, how are they so far apart because like Ram said, like, you get with someone with that kind of expectation. She's built around her dad, whatever. But if I'm sitting down with my woman, we have these kind of conversations like, okay, babe, I'm trying to build a bag for us to do X, Y, Z. Like, even if you're not contributing towards that directly, I don't want you to indirectly make
away from it.
Exactly. So yeah, that's what was strange to me, is how they were so distant.
But I don't think they are a good fit in any way, shape or form, because well, not only is he a liar, let's not
we're gonna get there.
Not only is he a liar, but her insecurities and all of those things are based in the fact that she doesn't feel secure in her relationship. She doesn't feel secure in her relationship because there's no transparency. They're not communicating with each other. In fact, it's just Gucci bag, Prada bag. That's not a foundation for a relationship.
It's not.
And I'm sorry, you can't build off Gucci bag because where's that going to take you?
And like you said, them not being a good fit, for me, I have to take accountability as a man. If I'm saying, yo, I'm building the bag for us, but you're derailing us, I as a man have to make a decision then. Is this woman the one for me? You know what I mean? It's like,
Part of me is wondering though, is he really building for them or is it just chat? Because if you think about it, he's like, this is my 4th relationship or something like that, and he kept emphasizing that point. It's my 4th relationship, I don't really want to do this again. So is it just, okay, I met her, she's pretty, it's convenient, let me just bang this out and see where it goes because my family are telling me I should get married, even though really and truly you're not trying to take her home, so I don't really know how that's happening.
Your sister first.
No, okay, so you know what, we're going there.
That was Aziz, because you know what, let's fast forward a little bit, because actually one of the things that he was saying is like, so they've been together for a year. A lot of what he's talking about is, like, this is my fourth relationship with emphasis. I felt like it was in bold and italic and a larger font.
And
Because he
underlined.
kept mentioning it. And all I got from that is, bruh, you're
I'm
too
tired.
lazy to find someone else.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm getting from this, but cool, innit? But one of the things you were saying is like, you're Nigerian, so you're too loud for my Ghanaian family. I have to not get semi-triggered here, but yeah. Like,
honestly,
I didn't get that.
Wait, that was a bit that triggered me, and I'm neither. You understand?
lie to you.
Like,
if my partner said that to me, I would never take you home. Ever in life. So if I'm not taking you home, why are we here? We're not actually. If you feel ashamed, because that's basically what you're saying, you feel ashamed of me because you think my character is too much for your family. Why are we in a relationship?
For real, and especially, and because my thing is, him saying that shows me, okay, cool. Like, you're one of those guys that will overly listen to your family when it comes to relationships. I'm not saying that you should never, because with wisdom, they might know a few things, but with their traditional ways, they might not also know a lot. So from that, it made me think, if you ever brought her home and they said, nah, like, you'd probably, you'd probably dump her. So like, if you've already got that inclination, like, it seems to me like you're hiding her from your family.
Yeah.
And the maddest thing is, he ain't brought her around there.
Yeah, like, he's hiding her because, and again, for me, all I'm getting from Jamel is, like, this is my fourth relationship. Like, I'm not bothered to find another one.
But I think he also inferred that he didn't even tell his family that he had a girlfriend.
He was
seeing
someone.
He said he's seen someone.
Listen, we are not in a relationship for a year and you're going to be out here throwing that word out there, that dash away word. Seeing.
Because that can mean anything.
That's muggage.
That's disrespectful.
That's murky still. That's murky.
Bang out of order.
And I can hear maybe not saying anything to your mum and your dad, but you've got siblings
and that.
You've got an extended family that you're close to, which is the impression I get. And you're dashing out the word seeing.
And that's when I started to feel for her, when he was like, boy, you know, I brought you around my family because, yeah. And then she came back like, but have you seen me? Have you tried and tested me in that setting? And that's when I was like, boy, she's got you there, bro. Like, you can't even say nothing. Like, you're just assuming that she'll come around your family and be loud.
Yeah.
Like, because I know how I am with, like, for example, my boys and that in a normal setting. But if I'm with their family, I'm not going to be like, well, on my killie. Or
go the extra
yard. You're going to change your demeanor. Like, we put on different faces for different situations. I'm pretty sure Deborah could probably do the same if you allowed her into the family home to meet your family.
Especially again, with her knowing that it's such a big deal. Like, you've taken so long for that to happen. She's already kind of tried to integrate you into her family, because she said that she brought him home at like 3 months or something that. Yeah. You're mad. First of all, as a woman, I'm not bringing any man home before he brings me home. Are you okay? For you to then turn around and say, we're seeing each other and I'm not bringing you home because you're loud.
And you know, when you drop the word "see," to me, what that means is, like, I'm clarting you in it, but I'm being kind of nice, so we're seeing each other. Like, that's how I take it. And that's probably how the rest of it is, like, especially some of the younger lot.
Yeah.
To the family, it's neither here nor there. But to the younger ones, that's probably what they think.
Seeing someone is a step before a relationship. So you date someone, then it's like, okay, it becomes more exclusive. So I'm seeing that person. Yeah. But when you're seeing someone, in my opinion, you haven't evolved into a relationship yet. So the fact that he's with this woman for a year and he's classing it as he's seeing her still,
it's fluffing up. It's fluffing up for me.
What I want to know as well, though, is when did they start dating in the first place? Because actually, if you're in a relationship for a year, that suggests that you dated for a significant period beforehand. But I'm getting vibes as if they met each other at month 1, got together, and now they're here. So they really don't know each other. They haven't figured out the dynamics of their relationship yet. So He's still figuring out, is this someone I can take home? Is this someone I even want around my friends? All of that. Again, the friends dropping in at your friend's house.
Mad.
Ah.
Well,
whoa.
the key question is, do they know each other? Because one of the other gripes was, I only get to see you like once a fortnight.
Mm.
And I'm your entire girlfriend.
But is she though? That's where the question comes back. They are seeing each other.
Well, no, he tells his family, I'm seeing someone. But
what does he tell everyone
to the
else?
wider world, it seems as though like, you're my woman, you're my girlfriend. But it's just the family that he says, yeah, I'm seeing, because he's embarrassed to take her home.
It should be the other way around. Like, your family should be like the most important, and you should be like, yo, this is who I'm with. And even furthermore, give them a chance to make not a judgment, but assess her for themselves. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I'm sure if they do hear about her, it's just probably the girl that I'm seeing, we've had an argument, or da 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 da. So already they're building up a picture, a negative picture of her. So if he did eventually bring her around, I don't see it going well. And he's kind of fashioned that already. So I don't know, man. It's a bit mad.
Yeah, very, very, very weird. For me, I just don't understand how you're building how you get to build the future and the house with Deborah, but then she's never met the fact that I don't know how that's going to work.
You can't be telling me that that's what we're building towards, but we haven't even done the first step of, okay, let me meet your sister, let me meet your brother, let me actually see if this is a family that I want to be integrated into. Because what, are we going to buy a house and I'm never going to see your family? Are you going to leave on a Sunday and go to your mom's house for dinner and I'm going to stay home and eat by myself?
Well, to me, they don't know she exists. When you tell your family, I'm seeing someone, there's an air of mystery.
Yeah.
Just exactly. Like one day, because I've said it to my mum before, like, I'm seeing someone. It's cool your beans for now. Like, I'm in the
finding out
exploration stage. Yeah. I'll come back to you with more information. So my mum knows that
needs to be said.
Yeah.
My mum knows there's someone, but she don't know who that someone is. So
exactly. And
in my head, they don't know she exists.
Not even a name.
That someone could be absolutely anybody. And we could go from saying, I'm seeing someone now at girlfriend number 4, and in 2 months when you lot break up, and now I'm seeing someone again, girlfriend number 5, or whatever you want to call that person, they wouldn't know the difference. Yeah.
Saying what? Yeah, people were like a year. Yeah. Hey, listen, babe, we've been together for a year.
Oh man.
But kind of shifting slightly, we know with Deborah, she was saying like, this is my standard from straight from the back. This is my standard. This is what I expect from my man. The argument, a very good argument, is Jamel knew what he was getting himself into from the off, because she seems very upfront about it. But I suppose his counter argument now is, kind of my phone, my clubhouse, and my job gets you these things that you demand. So you need to,
you need
to cool your beans with that.
I really hear her when she said, "Show me the clubhouse paycheck. Show it to me. Let me see." Because you're telling me that Clubhouse makes us money for me to get my bucket hat. Yeah. Go back to the bucket hat.
You're on this bucket hat.
But I don't see the Clubhouse paycheck. I can understand networking. I can understand your socials. I can understand all of that stuff. I can understand having your phone for your business purposes, because we live in a modern day. Everybody uses Instagram to promote yourselves, especially PTs. So I get all of that side of things. But you being on Clubhouse, I see you every 2 weeks. First of all, you're taking the piss. Yeah. But I see you every 2 weeks. And then when we are together or we're on the phone with each other, Clubhouse is in the background. I want to say something really wild, but I'm really trying my best not to. But Clubhouse is not your woman. And Clubhouse is not paying your bills. I'm pretty certain of that. So why is that like a focal point in your relationship? The fact that she felt the need to bring it up multiple times suggests how problematic it is. If I already feel like I'm being neglected by my partner, and then he's focusing on things like Clubhouse and talking to, what's her name? What was the girl's name?
Christina.
Yeah.
So you don't got
And
to worry about Christina.
Christina's calling you at 1 a.m. in the morning. First of all,
You don't have to worry about Christina.
Christina is disrespectful. Yeah. Because I ain't calling.
You don't have to worry about her though.
Christina's disrespectful. I ain't calling no man that I ain't sleeping with.
At them times.
At them time of the hours. Them times of the day.
I don't call anyone.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
Unless we're on a night out and I need to find out where you are. I'm not calling you at 1 a.m. I don't understand it. So what conversation could you be having about business at 1 a.m. for you to call? And even if the call was made or the text was sent, you shouldn't be responding. So I definitely hear her on that because I'm sorry, your phone should be on DND and I should be the center of your attention right now. That's it.
It's real.
I think for their particular situation, I think I agree with you. So I think for myself, I never check the time when I message if you're in my bedroom, I'll message you whatever time. But if you're in a situation, it's up to you whether you respond or not.
Yeah.
Because you know what you're doing at that time. I don't. So definitely, especially when you think about, okay, cool. I see you once a fortnight. So there needs to be that quality time.
So we're going back to this, yeah, because are you in a relationship if you're seeing your partner once a fortnight? And
so for me, no, but we have to respect they class themselves in a relationship. So we have to follow that. To them, they're in a relationship. So if you are, and you're only seeing your partner once every 2 weeks, your time can't be spliced with Clubhouse in the background and Christina on the phone and whoever else they may like. You've only carved out one day out of 2 weeks that you do all of this allegedly to spend with actually spend that quality time with your partner.
That's why for me it comes back to the fact of, is this your girl? That's not your man, sis. That's not your man. You carve out one day in a 2-week period to see me, and then you are diverting your attention into other things within that time. You don't give a rat's ass about me. And I'm sorry, but we're all busy. Yeah. In this England, they will come and kill you. Yeah. So you have to go to work. Everyone's busy. Yeah. That's the only way you can make money. So I hear that. But I'm sorry, if my partner will not make a conscious effort, and I'm pretty certain they both live in the same 20-mile radius of each other, it's not that far, it's not that hard. And even if we can't physically see each other, if we're doing up FaceTime date or if we're doing up whatever, because I'm guessing when most of this was filmed, it was last year in the pandemic and whatever else. So the ability to see each other might have been a little bit more limited. However, I still feel like in the time that we are spending with each other, you need to be present. You need to be here. Otherwise, we're not together. You're not even talking to me.
He's in 6 time zones, is it? So what, you can't include me in one of them? Or that's what I got from it.
What about your current time zone, G?
Bro, we operate on the same time here.
You have 4 hours to be sat in car with next woman having conversation, but you don't have time to spend time with me. No. Sorry?
Yeah.
4 hours.
Sticky one.
Sometimes you just can't even defend a man, I'll be real. Sometimes he just hangs himself out to dry. And I'll be honest, for Jamel, it all started so well for him. I was backing him.
I said, this is a king with his crown to the side.
Died on the hill with him. Yeah. I was like, nah, this guy is getting mudded up. He's trying his best. No. This was my initial.
I want to come and counter with that, but go on.
Nah, push back.
Do you know what I was going to say? I kind of agree with you. I was like, yeah, based on what Deborah was saying.
Yeah.
But when I looked at Jamel sometimes or anything, there was something in the back of my head, yeah. But I said, nah, because of, we'll touch upon this later, because of Paul, I said, nah, someone there needs to be a king.
Yeah.
So, do you know what? The shoe don't fully fit, but I want to put it to Jamel. Because even sometimes I was looking at him, like sometimes you look at Deborah, like, I can't be arsed with you. Like, he just gave off a big sense of apathy to me. But I just kind of thought, let me put it to the side, because he keeps talking about this building the future. I like that chat. I like the chat he's coming with. But when I look at your body language, though, my bro, it's not all there.
So are we going to throw the word gaslighting into the mix or not?
Hold on. Let me just finish with Jamal because he, like I was saying, he started off so well. And I can't remember what episode. I think it was the Noel Clark one where I spoke about, you get that feeling about certain brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the gaslighting, he's chatting. He's like, yeah, I'm doing this for us. And I'm like, yeah, Jamal. I'm like, that Jay-Z meme where it's like, yeah, man, I'm feeling what you're saying, Jamal. Yeah. It started to change. And like you said, I started looking at Deborah and she just looked bare fed up.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at Jamel and he's looking like he's sweating. And it's like the pressure is mounting. So
do you know what? Go on, I'll actually finish. Sorry.
So although she came out with all that stuff in the beginning and I was like, yeah, she's tapped. Then it started to turn round on Jamel where I was looking at him, I was thinking, bro, this ain't all her, Like, you have a big part to play. You're professing that you're building the bag and you're building for your relationship future, but something's not adding up. And then, I got that ping. He's a dodgy brother.
Yeah.
Other stuff came up, which I'm sure you're going to talk about, where I was like, yeah.
Do you know what it was for me? Like, because I was telling you for ages, they shouldn't be together, right?
Mm.
And the more episodes I watch, and I'll tell you in a sec where it went like that for me, but I was like, because Deborah always said, you're shady. But at the beginning, because as I said earlier, Deborah showed her hand far too early, where everyone cast an opinion of her as though, no, leave this king alone, man. But then when I kept watching, I was watching his body language and just his apathy of, this is long, like you're jarring. I'm thinking, you put her on it,
Yeah.
But he seemed as though he didn't want to be there. So it kind of got me thinking, and the one thing that I kept saying to you is, I don't know this. I'm looking at this like chicken and egg. I don't know how much of it is Jamel at the beginning wanted to pour all of his energy into it, but because Deborah's jarring him and he doesn't want to leave the relationship because he doesn't want to find a new one, he's just showing a massive disinterest, which will eventually turn into him stepping out.
Settling.
Yeah. Or is he just always like that? That's what I wasn't too sure of. But what flipped it for me now, what flipped it for me was when Deborah said, hey, read that. Now, cameras on you, read that. Read that. He's saying, no, I don't need to read that. What's it? The Afro Nation that's been cancelled now. Man wished it all for no reason. It's been postponed, cancelled. But when I was like, you really thought you could do up a whole Afro Nation whilst your babes is there
and not tell her?
No.
And you thought that you could say, nah, I'm not
gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of surprised you.
What? Hold on, wait. Because what I got from that is, obviously he was gassing, innit?
Chatting shit.
When I started to deep it, because he was just digging. All I could see is this. Man was just, I was like, Jamel, stop, bro, stop. And what got to me is like, he actually thought that could run. That answer, like he was gonna, like, and when he started breaking it down, what, me and my friends, but you and your friends, and we're gonna have a great time, innit? I was like, brother, this is a whole country, like, festival that you're talking about. Like, you can buck each other, but you were expecting to just surprise me on, like, that's the excuse that you came with. Like,
and we all know it's a lie.
And you said you weren't going as well.
Oh. Yeah, that was a mad one.
It's either coming from a place of, I don't trust you and I'm coming there to spy on you.
Yep.
Or I'm going there to Clark.
I think it's the former. I don't think you could go there to Clark and not get caught.
I think it's a petty thing, even, like, what, you're going Afro Nation, especially because they kept on referencing, I think, a year before or whatever. My brethren went before and blah blah blah, and they kept on saying, you've heard the rumors about Afro Nation.
It's Deborah that went before when she was single,
and she was on a madness.
Yeah, that's why I think it's a trust aspect,
and that's why I think he's being petty. It's like, well, you know the rumors surrounding it. You're in a relationship with me now, and you're still trying to go because I allowed you. All right, cool. I'm gonna go.
Whoa. You see all of that allowed you chat that they were going on with, yeah? Sorry, but are you my mom? Are you my dad? Did you pay for my ticket? No, you did not. So keep all of that energy to yourself. If I want to go on a girl's holiday, a lad's holiday, whatever, why do I need to get permission from my partner? I'm a grown ass adult.
Remember those school trips where your mum had to
do the like you want to come and sign permission slip?
Hey, you say, yeah, mum said I can go, but the money's gonna come late though. This time I gotta grind for it myself.
But it's mad, and I feel like it goes back to even the whole phone situation, which we'll get into. But the whole idea of I need to ask my partner for. There's no trust in that relationship, and it's not a healthy relationship because you lot don't communicate with each other. For you to be getting up to go to Portugal to do up shakara instead of actually just saying, okay, are we going or am I going? Are you going? All right, cool. I'll see you there, or whatever. You're doing up sneaky because you don't trust your partner. Again, you shouldn't be together. I said what I said.
Real.
That real. And swiftly moving on to the phone aspect, because a lot of what Deborah was saying is, who's Christina to you? Who's Christina to you? Show me your phone then. Show me your phone then.
Show me the last 3 messages in your phone.
And Jamel was shuffling.
Like our
his
house
head was hot. His head was hot. Yeah, hot.
But you know what? For the right reasons, because it seems as though there was some madness on the phone. But then I suppose my problem is, and I know we've kind of spoken on this before a little bit, is that we put too much emphasis on this whole phone thing in terms of, for me to trust you, I need to have access to your phone. Go away. Like, if someone said that to me straight off, I'm saying, well, I guess this is the day the relationship ended still. Because really and truly, like, what can my phone show you in a snippet? Because I have like wide-ranging conversations.
We have wild conversations all the time. Where I'm like, if someone interjected midway in this chat, they would be like, what the hell is going on here?
Because if you, for example, just take like one voice note from our conversation, you think, what, these lot talking? What? But if you have the full picture, that makes sense. That makes sense.
And I think that's what it comes back to. Like, going and looking at the last few messages in someone's phone doesn't show any context. We could have had a 20-minute conversation on the phone and then carried on the chat via text, and all you're picking up is what's on the text. That doesn't show a true reflection of anything. So you accessing my phone is doing what? For who? For why? It's my phone.
That's a self thing still.
Yeah, that's a individual's insecurity.
But I think a lot of our generation, a lot of girls especially, have that entitlement of, I must be able to access my man's phone so I can trust him. Well, if that's a question mark, you obviously don't trust him already. So again, why are you there? Like, your phone is your phone. If I want to go and cheat, I will go and cheat. My phone will be the last place that the information will be. Come on.
Yo, carry a pigeon. Are you mad?
I'll send it via email.
Make sure you go to the right babes this time.
Send it via email, all sorts if I need to. Like, at the end of the day, I don't think, if I'm texting someone or talking to someone in my phone or someone's in my DMs, don't get me wrong, phones hold a lot of information and they can paint a clear picture. But at the same time, if there's that doubt in your mind, that is suggestive of enough. Like, why are you there? Because I'm sorry, I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone that I feel like I need to constantly be like, can I see your phone? What's, who just texted you? Why have you put your phone face down? That's a pet peeve of mine, though. I can't lie.
What, the face down phone thing?
Because what are you hiding?
So what are you looking for?
Yeah, for me, it's not a hiding thing. For me, it's like, I'm switching off from this because I'm now I'm with this person.
Yeah.
But then don't put your phone on the table.
I put my phone on airplane mode.
I feel like that's justifiable.
I didn't know.
Just leave it.
I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't know this because sometimes it's 50-50. Like, I could just pull out my phone and just be doing that.
Yeah.
And it's face down now, but you're judging me for doing that.
So no, I feel
sometimes
like
listen, the phone in the pocket is big,
If
so
it's
50-50.
If it's like a automatic response, so there's no like you can clearly tell when someone someone's consciously trying to put their phone face down. I feel like that's different to if you put your phone down, you put your phone down. Like, I'm not going to be sat there watching thinking, oh, okay, it's face down this time. Next time, okay, it's face up. That means I can trust you. No, like if I can see all the time, you make a conscious effort of turning. It's
right?
That is like, I'm sorry, but I'll throw my phone anywhere or I'll put my phone down anyhow, and you should feel able and capable of doing the same thing, because at the end of the day, I'm not hiding nothing, and I'm not saying that because you put your phone face down that means you're hiding something, but at the same time, it's a bit shady.
At the same time, though, I mean, in that is a little situation. I don't know if I read it wrong, but you were like, okay, a woman shouldn't have that entitlement to looking at a man's phone. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I feel he's giving her that insecurity with his actions in doing those things. So she must be a bit conflicted. Maybe she doesn't feel that entitlement, but with his actions, she's thinking, rah, there's something in there that he's actually consciously trying to keep from me.
And I agree with you. Like I said before, I think she's insecure, and she's rightly insecure because you're shady. You're doing more than one shady thing. It's not just putting your phone down. You're doing multiple shady things. So if I'm there thinking, there's already something niggling me, and you're just adding to the pile every time, I'm obviously going to feel like something's not right here. So it's going to push me, and you know, the whole women's intuition, and we know that men love to tell us that we ain't got no intuition, but women's intuition,
when we're trying to throw you up,
is important and whatnot. But yeah, it's a madness.
So I think in this particular scenario, Deborah was right with her insecurities around him and his phone and whatnot. It seemed as though it was aimed at the wrong person, i.e. Christina. It seemed she held a leg shot or whatnot. But saying that, obviously Deborah stormed off now. It's just Jamel and Denise, the therapist. And you see Jamal just like, this is when I was like, what have you done?
I knew it.
What have you done? What have you done?
He didn't even have to say it out loud. I knew it.
You know, when he said, I don't know why she's so fixated on Christina. I said, whoa. When someone talks like that, they're saying, why Christina? What he's meaning is, because it was someone else. So why? What? How did she get the Christina angle and not that one?
But it's a valid question though. How did she get the Christina angle and not the ex-girlfriend? Because the fact that she was comfortable,
him training her.
First of all,
she wasn't. I don't think she was initially comfortable.
She wasn't.
In her eyes, again, she allowed it to happen.
But she said I guess, got the impression from the girl that
she was cool.
She was cool. So I think there was maybe that like mutual respect or something that she thought she had established. Clearly not. But I think it's bizarre because it would not be me. I'll tell you that for a fact. If my man was a PT, go and PT elsewhere. Money can be made all over the country. Why with this one girl?
I'm a PT,
recommend somebody else.
I blatantly said, I could not PT my ex.
That is what bare PNF stretching in that.
The first rule, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Especially being in another relationship. Like, so you're telling me now you're willingly spending time with your ex because
more
money
than with
is
me.
out there.
More
that's
than with
real,
me.
though.
Exactly.
You see your ex 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's what I'm getting at, is that you're actually willingly, I've told you that we spend every 2 weeks. But you're doing hourly sessions with her how many times a week? Like
and stretching her glutes out at that as well.
So for me to see my man, he has to train me is basically what you're saying.
That's
boy,
mad.
she better book in some sessions, boy.
That's mad. So obviously he's kind of told Denise, listen, what happened in the whip? I wouldn't want Deborah doing the whip in it. She's now she's come back now. She's come back now. And obviously Denise is like, yo, Jamel's got something he wants to tell you. Just waiting. Jamel's she's like, tell me. He's like, it's hard, you know. I was like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that.
Trying to shift it.
Don't say this is hard. Don't do that.
You know what's hard? Bringing her on the couch to do up foolishness on public internet. Yeah. Public, big broadcasting YouTube.
The
You want to come,
internet.
the national internet. You want to come on the national internet to come and embarrass me, and then have the audacity to suggest that that's not why you brought me here. No, are you mad? Are you not embarrassed? Nella voice.
Yeah, man. And I truly felt her anger, yeah, where she dipped out. I couldn't find the exit. These times she's like, where's my bag? She left her bag on the sofa. I said, this woman is fucking vexed.
The designer bag, for that to get left behind.
She couldn't tell where the exit was. I'm pretty sure she was at not but a exit, and she pushed it. But
when you have a chicken and you just dash it in one of them pens and it's just running around like, man, I can't find the exit.
Hey, trust me.
Oh,
but then what I'd say to that as well is when obviously Jamal was chasing her down, when he went, just sit down for a sec. When she sat down, I was like, they're getting back together, man.
Yeah.
They're getting back together. He's managed to kind of dissipate it enough to get,
I also think that's why he did it in a controlled environment, because I could see violence in her eyes. I can't lie to you. And I think if it was in a different setting and there were no cameras around, she would have gone off.
Black
eye. She would have gone off differently.
There was no utensils.
Listen.
But I think we pretty much gave Jamel and Debs a good 6-episode roundup. We'll come back to them later on with the Aftermath show. But
now for the juicy
boy, this one here. Trauma and Paul. So like, obviously,
that's a tone change on that.
Episode 1, I watched, and from my point of view, I was like, yo, this poor guy's a villain still. Like actual villain that you see on, I don't know, like
that final boss.
Not even that, like, like on Pink Panther and that. They're villainous, but they're jokes at the same time. Like the things he would come up with, I'm like, you don't take your missus seriously. You don't take this environment seriously. You are just the epitome of a very African man.
So
like
it's funny.
You are littered in my family. Like you're dotted around everywhere. That think is everywhere. And that's why probably I was like, nah, Jamal ain't that bad, man. What are you talking about?
It's funny because I had a conversation with someone and they were saying, but Choma's gotten into this situation. She knows, again, knowing who your man is, that whole like traditional values, I'm pretty sure there was no toning that down in the beginning. Like he was whoever he was, or maybe he was just so gassed to get buffing that he was just lapping it up. So I don't know, but I kind of feel like that man is mad. That's the only word that comes to mind. He is mad.
But you know what? Because I feel as though there's a lot of mud you can sling at him that will stick. I wanted to actually start off with something where I was in his corner. And it was where Choma was like, yo, your sister's a bitch. Like, your sister's a bitch and she just dumps her kids at mine. Now, the thing is, Choma's chagrin at that, I 100% support and I'm behind. That needs to get rectified. The way in which he went about it, if it is the first time Paul has heard of all these animosities, is mad. And for me, if someone done that to me, I'm just locking off the relationship on camera still.
So I have two things. I kind of feel like she came with him because he doesn't want to hear it about his sister. All of her concerns about their incestual relationship or whatever it might be that she was trying to reference. I feel like he don't want to hear it about his sister. He's just, it's my sister. The sun shines out of her ass, literally. But I think part of me feels like she came on the show to dead the relationship. Because you cannot on, what is it? National internet. Yeah? Worldwide internet come and call my sister a bitch.
And he actually tried to give her chances to rectify it as well. He was like, oh, like, is that what you're going to do? And then she kind of pulled back and he was like, okay, maybe it was the wrong choice of word, but she still meant what she meant.
Yeah, of course she did.
And
she said it was
she made it act like she behaves like she's not an actual, but she acts bitchy, or that's what I kind of got from it. So,
and listen, if the relationship they have looks the way she describes, where she can take time out of her day to cuss your mothering abilities, but when it's time for her to get on tables and party and do whatever she does, she just kicks her kids to your door.
She's a bad mom.
One, she's a shit mum herself.
Yeah.
And two, like, this is something you should address. However, as your man, you can't call my sister a bitch randomly on TV and then talk about dumping kid. What? And with his response, because the thing he said is like, what? You don't love the kids or something like that. I can kind of hear where he's coming from if it's the first time he's ever heard it. It's just like, what?
Nah, but then pushing back on that, what I didn't agree with is him saying, oh, you should love the kids like I love them.
That's wrong.
In no way, shape or form.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I didn't push them out. So I have really and truly no responsibility towards them. Yeah. And even if you're my partner, there should still be an element of communication for you to say, okay, babe, can you do this? Or can you look after my niece and nephew this weekend? My sister wants to go out. Because more times, if she was asked, I'm pretty sure she would have been cool with it. But you can't chat shit about me all day, every day, hate on me, bitch about me, and then come and dump your kids on me.
And especially
without permission. I'll be a bad mother as well.
Especially where a lot of the criticisms is about me, my mothering abilities.
Yeah.
Why do you leave your kids with me and then go off and party?
She hit the nail on the head. That could be poisoning your youths. All of these
pinching
and all that. But you're happy enough to leave them with me.
Because you want to go and shake Nyash on table.
You want to be patty girl. Hot girl summer. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah. So I thought, let me just throw that out there because I was more on Paul's side with that. If it's the first time he's heard about it.
I think Paul as an individual doesn't want to hear anything about anything. And I think maybe she felt like actually this would be a safe enough space for me to just throw everything off my chest because, and I know we overuse this word, but this man is a narcissist. Like, he's a narcissist. Like, he's the epitome of a narcissist. There's nothing that happened in that situation that made me think, you know what, I feel sorry for him. Because even her sitting there and calling his sister a bitch, I was like, yes, I was clapping.
Do you know, and I agree with you, I think the word narcissist gets chucked about a lot, where someone might just have a little bit of a selfish tendency. People are like, he's a narcissist. No. Do you know the definition? But he's probably the first person I've seen in recent times where I could say, yeah, you have narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah.
What was the point where Choma stormed off? And he looked Denise square in the eyes and said, I think we'll stop this. Like, you're not working. You're not helping us. I said, well, brother.
After you just called me fat.
How did you
on
do
national
that?
internet?
Yeah. Oh my days.
You called me fat on national internet.
Fat and dumb.
Fat and dumb on national internet, and you want to turn around to the fake therapist and make it seem like it's her fault.
Wait, let's actually just rewind this a little bit because before that,
he said she said it though.
What's that?
The fat.
No, so he skirted around it. Yeah, he skirted around it. He was inferring it in every single part of what he was saying.
You know what? And do you know where it stemmed from? And I agree with you, she came to nuke the relationship. And do you know where it was bait? They're just talking. And she was like, yo, when was the last time you fucked me, my guy? I don't remember. I said, what? I looked around
I was finished. When she come out with that, I was finished.
You ain't fucked your girl in a month, and that's your girl.
No. And it was Vim.
And you know what? Was the last time do you know how you know she really meant that shit? When she was saying like, I'm walking around with short shorts on, and what? You can't even slip it in. Like, I said, yo, this is someone that is
without consent.
She's been trying. But on a real, if I see, let's just say I'm on this sofa, right? But it's at home now. It's watching the TV. See my girl walk past in them short shorts, going to the kitchen, making it. I'm saying, yo, whatever you're making in there, throw it in the bin. It's
Bruv.
getting contaminated. Are you mad?
My
bruh?
girl walks around in booty shorts and I can't help myself.
Bro.
Innit? Every little, you get me? It's just like she said, why ain't the man in you working? Like, you're not even triggered by that.
But even forget about the sex aspect of it. You're not even being like touchy-feely affectionate with me. Like, and then his comment was something like, but
are we in the jungle?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, we're not like wild animals. Is it always about sex? And I'm like, well, no, because people want to feel desired.
Yeah.
I want to feel like I'm walking around my house with my man and he cares. Like, even if he doesn't want to jump in my knickers because he's doing something, he actually
has them
he's
desires.
Or even
got those
just
desires.
a little stare, like
Yeah.
watching football, like, damn. Like, just a little, like yo,
acknowledgement.
yeah, like after this game,
You're
this game's in, but after you fucked up, you know.
I think what's mad as well is his comments about that he can't carry her. Now
that's when it was getting into
let
dangerous
me
waters.
tell you something. Yeah, Mister, I go gym 7 days a week and on weekends.
I swear a few times he said, "Look at me, my man can't carry."
I'm sorry. Choma's not big. She's not a big girl at all. She's beautiful. Yeah.
She is.
Even if she's put on a pound or two, she's still not a big girl. You as big man, you're going gym.
And you're forgetting he was fat. He's self-confessed was a fat guy. Bro, are you telling me, that, hold on, because I'm backing Chum on this one. You're telling me I go through transition with you from fat guy, and she was right as well, saying the food that you're dissing, has made you the man that you are today. That gains that you got, is from the food that I cooked. But I could go through transition with you from fat to now you're Mr. Buff Paul, but you're asking me, have I counted my calories lately and all of that?
Because you want to be eating boiled chicken. Listen, especially given that, like I said, most of this probably happened in a lockdown. Everybody's put on a couple of pounds. Everyone fluctuates in weight. It's kind of null and void still. For you to even have the audacity, after I came with you from Mr. Husky Chunky to now, I'm doing up big man, I'm going gym every week and I'm personal training. Can't even breathe. You and your double chin, me and your double chin were riding together, and now you have the audacity to be talking about I put on some weight.
You know that one saying, babes. When I first met you, I had to sit and watch you eat dessert
for dinner.
Like, yo, I was done at mains. I was done, but I stayed. I watched you eat your ice cream. I kept you on your journey.
I was thinking the audacity still. Man went rude. His own transition from fat, the word that he's trying so hard not to throw out there. Bro, you was a fat guy, innit? And now you're asking your woman by the couple, even if, like you said, she put on a stone or 2 stone, whatever. Like, you don't bring that energy to your woman, especially as a trainer as well. Like, what are you trying to do to her confidence, man?
But you know what? I see in him as well. One thing he said that made me, just before I touched on this point, that made me laugh is when he was like, like everything has to come with a price or something. Like, even a massage has to come with a happy ending. Like, bro, like,
are you mad?
You sound like you're locked in a basement or something. Is this Fritzl out here, bro? Like, this is your girlfriend.
It sounded to me like he weren't trying to do nothing with Choma. Maybe she weren't his type. I don't know.
But so what I think about him as well, actually, is he weaponizes information a lot. So the first time I saw him do this was where they were talking about, because the food was a big aspect. She's like, listen, I'm a proud Nigerian girl. Like, I love eating like traditional food, but like you're just totally against this food that got you your gains. At the end of the day, now you turn away this boiled chicken, unseasoned this and that. And obviously, she's saying, I'm not saying eat the traditional food that I could not eat it every day. Like I would not look like this. But what's a Sunday or something like that, you know? And then when he came out and was like, like I had this big unhealthy relationship with food, this and that. And I see her like, I felt really bad about it.
Gaslight.
And I'm like, did you hold on to that information so that one day you could just almost like, fucking, do you ever used to play like Yu-Gi-Oh cards and that? Just all Pokemon, like, oh yeah, I'm down on my luck. You just throw that one out there. Hey, I'm back. The leveler. And then the second time when he done this was where she was talking about her business.
Yeah.
So she was saying, like, I don't know what the business is, but she's like, I came to him with a like business, wasn't really interested in helping me out. So I said, okay, cool. I found someone else now. Showed him the website. He's saying, yeah, sick. He's now found out who the someone is. There's a face to the name. Without any explanation, he's telling me that, yo, dead that with that person. No proper explanation or anything. And then when it was brought into the space, he was saying like, oh, well, you know, like I know Chuma, like she knows makeup. So if she's telling me that, oh, don't run with that, I'll listen to her because like she's the professional. Mm-hmm. But it's like, bro, you're not in an authoritarian relationship. Like, if you don't want me to do something,
you've got to give me a reason.
Explain yourself. Mm-hmm. If the reason slaps, maybe. If it don't, then not. And I think fundamentally the reason that he gave eventually weaponized information in my eyes is the person that she's working with now, when he broke up with his ex or who he was seeing, that person then kind of slid right in. So he's saying to me, that guy's slimy. Mm. And it's not that I don't trust her or anything, but I just know what that character's like. And the thing is, big and serious, if you spoke to Choman, to be honest, most women, if you explain that to them, like, listen, it's not even you. Like, that guy, he's a bit slimy. Mm. Most of them would be like, wow, all right, cool, yeah, we don't need that. That stress or question marks or anything like that. But when you leave it until late in the day and you never explain yourself, it's too late. Like,
I think all of that's insignificant. I think all of that's insignificant. You know what's significant? The fact that you're my man, you have this big IT business, and I come to you asking you about, okay, this is what I want to do, this is my ideas, and you were there.
You didn't want to know.
You didn't want to know. And now you feel some type of way about it when I have somebody else in the mix. Like, that's not, mind your business. Because you weren't minding mine. So why all of a sudden now it's bothering you? Like, I hear it, the guy's slimy, but I've paid my full amount. My website is 90% done.
It's a business transaction.
It's a business transaction. Mm-hmm. Like, me and him aren't doing up pillow talk in bed. We're doing a website. And get over it.
On the back of that as well, like, you're saying this guy is slimy, yeah? All right, I'm doing business with him, but do you not think if he tried to move to me in some way, shape or form, I'd come and tell you as my man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like reiterate, all right, yeah, you was right, boom, boom, boom. Then you can actually step in and do something about it. But until then, just let us do business, cool, man.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, definitely, like, hold information in hopes that later on down the line, he's like, oh, well, seeing how you made me get into this, I'm gonna have to get into this.
He was doing all of that with the therapist as well.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Okay, so I don't want to give you any information about my life. I don't know why that's relevant. But seeing as you're gonna force me to say it, I'm gonna just give you crumbs.
Yeah.
My guy, why did you come?
The way you spoke to the therapist.
Listen, it took me a whole 5 or 6 episodes and then watching him on the next podcast to even know what he does for a living.
Facts.
For a living. And even now, I'm still not 100%.
And after all that, you're a PT?
No, I think that's what I don't think he's a PT anymore.
So he says he's got an IT business and he's a PT and he works with his high value clients, whoever they are.
I think it's high net worth.
High net worth, yes. High net worth clients. That right. Yes, high net worth clients. But you're broke. But that's besides the point. But yeah, like, you work with your high net worth clients, training them and networking with them, I'm assuming. But all of that still doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't.
And even if you're on, he's just like Jamal on his 5 time zones or whatever it might be. Like, these time zones are clearly not paying your bills, sir.
Yeah. Muddy.
Very, very muddy. Very, very. Jay, I don't know if you managed to watch this episode, it was episode 6, but this is where some things were unraveling. So what Paul and
think I got
so what Paul and Choma, well, what you would have seen them saying is, before we came on here, we said that there's some things we will discuss and some things we won't discuss.
Okay.
So Choma was starting to pull a string, and you see, this is the first time I saw Paul like, whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
You can't say that.
Babe, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Babe, we did.
Yeah.
Then he's just like, yo, Denise was
like that, yeah.
It's almost like he wanted the cameras and Denise.
Yeah, like, yo, we
he
doing?
did not want this conversation to happen.
He did not want the conversation to happen, innit?
And actually, before we get into that, I feel like there's definitely a parallel between the she's put on weight, her emotional state, and what you're coming out with in a second.
Yes, most defo. And your sister's a bitch as well. It all made sense with this new piece of information where she was like, nah, we'll talk about it because we have never ever spoken about it after the fact. And it was that she said she had an abortion. So it was I believe it was a period of time where
for him.
Yeah,
where they weren't together, but
I think they were on a break. She found out she was pregnant. They decided they were going to work things out. And the discussion was that basically he's not ready to be a dad. And if she makes that decision, bearing in mind at this point, I think they'd been in a relationship for just over 2 years, like 2 and a bit years. He's not ready to be a dad. Oh, actually, let's go backtrack, rewind. So he kept making this, okay, so this is not a normal night for us. Yeah, it's not standard. We had like 6 or 7 rounds.
Oh my, yeah. So sorry, yeah. Pause on that. Sorry. So Choma, she was visibly upset about
rounds.
Yeah. So she was really, really upset about what she was going to reveal. So Denise was like, "Paul, do you mind taking over?" So yeah, that's when he started talking.
Sorry, you lot obviously want more than me, but no, she's gone from receiving rounds to not even having sex twice a month.
So
7, 8 rounds.
7, 8 rounds. He said it wasn't a standard night. Fair enough. Not a standard night. I think there was some alcohol and some life involved. Magnum, something involved. They had their 6 and 7 rounds. That he kept emphasizing 6 or 7 rounds. Like, I don't know if you wanted a clap or a cookie, but whatever. And
I think it was his first time he ever done that.
I think he was super proud of himself. Like, he wanted someone to give him a pat on the back, but no one was. But yeah, they ended up.
Sorry, these times, Chubb is next to him, bawling her eyes out. And imagine, this is a key bit that I was like, you're a punk, bro. So imagine now, there's tissue there, yeah? I see man grab a tissue. I'm thinking, you're going to give it to her.
Don't tell me he dabbed his head.
Nah, man just kept it. These times, she's just there, bawling.
Into her palms.
Nah, I think she had a one tissue, but you know where that tissue is?
It's dead. It's disintegrated.
It's going to disintegrate soon. So I'm like, okay, you're showing some compassion. Cool. Man just held on to it still.
Yeah, so she's ended up pregnant now. And I think the conversation went something along the lines of, I'm not ready to be a dad. If you continue with this pregnancy, you're going to be a single mom, basically. And basically held her hand and drove her to the abortion clinic for her to get her abortion. And I think the thing for me, before we even delve into that conversation, is the therapist.
Yo, I was
turning around and said to her, but you're the one that walked through the door.
Excuse me?
No, she posed it as a question.
Yeah, she posed it as a question.
But who walked through the door?
What, of the abortion clinic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus is Lord. What?
That's when I said, yo, you're not a therapist, bro.
My chest.
You're not a
like my chest honestly hurt. You have this woman sat in front of you, completely mortified by this experience and going obviously through emotional trauma because you haven't even discussed this for the last year with your partner, the person that you got into this situation with, and you have a therapist basically inferring that, well, you made the decision.
There was no gun to your head. Like,
yeah.
And bro, do you know, I say that show me you're not even that just shows you're not even kind of decent human being.
Yeah, where's your
Like,
compassion?
even me, I don't know what I'd probably just say something like, "Fuck, that's fucked up."
Starting off with, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like,
to go
but
through
like,
that,
but I wouldn't be like, but who? What? I wouldn't. Do you know how incensed it?
yeah, she had a right to flip the table and grab Denise by the neck.
Yeah.
But the maddest thing is, I think she was just so like, I think she has that emotional guilt and she thinks that it was, well, her conscious decision at the end of the day. So I think even though what Denise said was wrong, I think she still took it on board as if, oh yeah, you're right, I made that final decision. But I'm sorry, like, we're in a relationship. You're talking about this is the person you want to build with. You see yourself marrying them. This is going to be your wife. Yeah. And you lot happen to get into this situation. It's not like you were fucking for a month. Yeah. And you're like, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh,
even
that hit
even
me
then,
still, I can't lie.
even then, when you're having sex, you know there's a potential consequence of pregnancy. Like, we're not stupid. We know how biology works. So if you're in a relationship with someone, you haven't taken the right precautions, you end up pregnant. As my partner, somebody I'm building my life with, you're going to turn around and say to me, well, if you have this child, I'm going to cut and you're just going to have to do up single mom life. What?
You see, I don't know. The way I see it is, yeah, if it came in like, I don't know, like you're dating someone a month in or whatnot, then yeah, you can have that discussion of I don't really know or whatnot. But to me, if it's like, let's say, like I'm with my partner, and I have in my head like 5 years into it is when I want to start having kids. If it comes 2 years in, it just means I won the lottery early. That's how I would see it. Not a case of, don't know, this goes against the plan. We'll try again in 3 years, but we know it works. But no, I don't see it. So to that, I did not understand at all. Unless you guys are like, literally, it's a case of, okay, if we have this babe, like, we cannot afford to have a kid right now. I can understand that, but seeing how as though they seem as though they are very much about building an empire, this, that, the other, I don't think that's a concern for them. So I don't understand where he was coming from with a case of, oh yeah, like I won't be there type of thing.
But maybe he knows something that we don't know.
Right?
Maybe he knows something that we don't know. Maybe he ain't.
Sounds
he
like
ain't got it like that.
Sounds like you know what. Oh,
maybe he ain't got it like that.
He's still building the empire.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have the foundation. So he's like, well, actually, this is not something I want because I don't have the coin.
And that's a problem with the internet now. People gassing up strangers to say, yeah, I'm in this certain position, you know, what net worth, clients, blah, blah, blah. All right, you hang around with rich people, but you're not rich.
Exactly.
So stop trying to convince people you're rich. And in doing so, you're now saying that you can't start a family, pretty much. This is what I'm gathering, because I ain't seen that episode yet. But that is mad. You're basically stringing this woman along, living a lie. Which is, yeah,
madness. Yeah. So
bless her though, man.
Yeah, that was a boy. It was an
I found out from you lot. I ain't even got there.
Even when I was watching, I was like, wow. So that definitely took me aback.
But I think actually what Denise said around like, well, you know, you kind of took yourself there. I think that's a lot of people's perception of abortions. Like they think, oh well, it's an easy choice. Like
you made that decision.
You had sex, potential risk, pregnancy. You're now pregnant. Just you took yourself to the abortion clinic. Get over it. And actually, people don't know how much of an impact it can have on someone, like long term, especially if you feel like your partner, the one person that you're in this situation with, abandoned you. Like, imagine that. Like you've lost something that you really want. And coming back to the fact that she has, you know, fertility issues in her family, it's always going to be in the backdrop. Like there's a concern.
It's a man she really wanted it with.
It's a man that she really wanted it with. You're in love. You think this is the person you want to form your future with. And then they literally throw you in the bin.
And that's something that I forgot as well. So what she's saying is like, even like in our family, becoming pregnant is a blessing.
Yeah.
Like the women in my family have big problems. So that's why it's just like it was even more important. And that's why it's like eating her up even more. And yeah, the fact that, and especially if you think about it as well, is it's not even like it's a case where it's a guy she was like dating or whatnot, and she became pregnant, and he's just like, yo, I don't even know you like that. This is all a bit mad. And then she's made the decision. It's her life partner who said, yeah, I'm not on it. Like I might have to not be there. But then she kind of has the abortion and he's still there.
But that's
and then he's talking about like, yeah, I see my future with you. In my head, I'll be like, but
that's my thing though.
But you made me like you put me in a position to have an abortion though.
In my opinion,
the relationship was dead. That relationship should have been dead.
That man is not for you.
Yeah.
He showed his arse, innit? Like when it comes to go time, yeah, he's literally told you, I'm not gonna be there. What further business do you have with this man? Because he's shown when it comes to the real deal, all right, forget all these high-end clients, businesses, blah, blah, blah. This is reproduction time now. And he's saying, yo, if you do that, I'm not sticking around. After that, there should be no reconciliation. Like no coming back from
personally, I'd feel hollow.
Yeah.
That.
Go and find your happiness somewhere else, man.
And one of the things, so the reason why she brought it up is because she's saying, I feel as though Paul, the reason why we live together is because Paul has that guilt. So kind of as you've done that, but like let's move in together. Like that's how
because we're building together. We're gonna be together forever.
So from that would make me bitter, very, very bitter.
But he's even giving her the wrong signals because when you're cohabiting, you're already saying, okay, this is the first part of us building a family. Like, what are we doing this for then? Like, I don't know, man. That's whoa.
But
that one bagged me. I can't lie.
Yeah, but we're gonna shift on to the aftermath. The first thing I want to know is where's my part 3? Where's my part 3? So I know you've not seen this bit. Yeah, but
so
you're supposed to get 3 parts.
I paid my $2.49. Yeah, you have 48 hours or 72 hours to watch them. 72 hours to watch them. You get to the end of part 2 and they're like, ooh, scroll down now for part 3. Or now, where's my part 3?
Waiting.
Where is it?
Oh.
No conclusions.
And the 72 hours is over.
Done.
So am I going to have to pay $149 again?
Boy.
Are you taking the piss?
I'm sorry. I ain't got there then.
I'm sorry. I'm all here for supporting black businesses, but don't shag me.
Yeah, I can't be shagged still. That one's annoying. But
I will watch it.
I saw a trailer yesterday for the conclusion. If I'm reading between the lines, it seems as though because what a lot of people were doing was just ripping it and putting it on YouTube, which is obviously affecting their bag.
Respectfully.
So I'm assuming that the reason why obviously we're here complaining where the fuck is my part 3, I think it is because a lot of people were ripping it. So they've probably had to put a bit more due diligence to make sure that they can secure their thing. But hurry up, please. I need the conclusion.
To catch up.
But what we did get is, so the first episode was
Ramsar.
So the first bit, it covered off, it was Jamel and Deborah. So there is a time difference between the first 6 episodes and the aftermath.
Right.
The exact time difference, I have no idea.
I think it's a good couple of months.
It seemed as though it was a bit, because the way they were talking, some things have transpired. So
before we get into it, the R&B outfit.
That's literally what I was going to say.
Fantastic.
So Jamel and Debs, they come in now, all white, looking like R&B 90s couple.
Like swagged
coming
out.
in, swagged out. Jamel's looking
Image
like
gang.
he ain't done shit wrong. Like, yo,
fresh trim and all sorts.
I'm lit out here, innit? Like, my bitch, you got me, type of thing. So the presenter, it's not Denise now. It's I can't remember her name. I'm sorry.
And the worst part is she was there giving out her fitness hashtag all the time, and we don't know.
It's but she's Fit Queen UK, I think. But yeah, basically she threw a question out like, so like you guys still together? Jamel was like, yeah. Debs was like, we're working on it. So she asked again. Jamel's like, yeah. Then Debs is like,
I guess we can say
that. I guess we can say like, but you've come looking like
Coordinated.
you're doing up video shoot. Like, listen, if you've taken him back, it's cool. I don't care either way, innit? You don't need to lie. It's calm. But to me, it seems as though they are now together. So one thing we didn't touch upon in the first 6 actually episodes with them is that they had a friend come on, Deborah's friend, that she gets like regular advice. She talks to. So do you remember the bit where Jamel was like, "Stop comparing me to your man, like to your friend's man. I hate it."
Oh yeah.
So it's this brethren.
Yeah.
So she's come on, and for all intents, I really liked her brethren. She seemed really level-headed, and from her point of view, because there's like a bit of frostiness between them, between Jamel and the brethren. But what the brethren is saying is, at the end of the day, like my girl comes to me and she asks, she like not unloads, but she shares things, and like I tell her my 2 pence. Now, what I don't do is say, go back to Jamel and do this and do that and don't take any. I just tell her my piece. But even if I did do that, she is still taking information and exercising it. So that is still a level of responsibility on her. However, that's not how it looks. And to be honest, there's certain times where I tell her, actually, you're acting up. Like, look at it from like Jamel's point, and I do it vice versa. Because she even said there and then, like, I actually don't like that she compares you to my man. I think that's wrong. She said a saying about comparisons, but I can't remember.
Comparison is the thief of joy. She couldn't get it right, but it's a one that I use quite a lot.
Correction.
That's probably why I didn't compute it. But yes. Comparisons is the thief of joy. And because the one thing is, if I'm with someone,
I'm gonna have to wheel that up.
Yeah, don't compare me to your brethren's man. Like, I'm not him. And if you are, go and fuck him. Like, go be with him. Like, why
sure
you?
Your friend would have something to say, but
yeah. But my thing is, why do you keep talking about their relationship? Like, be in that relationship then.
That can't run for me.
But,
dead.
But as much as I completely hear you and I completely agree with you, like I said, it's a phrase that I use all the time. At the same time, I kind of get it. So if you're the closest person to you is the person that you talk about your relationships with, we're all chatty patties when it comes to our best mate. Yeah, like boys do it, girls do it. We all talk about our relationships to a certain extent. Yeah. If the closest person to you has a quote unquote model relationship, it's going to be really difficult to be like, okay, I'm seeing my thing going wrong here. The only way for me to say, okay, could you do this, is by saying this person does it, look at how they're doing it, model it off them and do this because this is what I want. Maybe she just doesn't have the words to communicate it.
I still don't. I don't want it packaged like that, you know. Nah. I can't have it like that.
For me, you gotta base it on a broader range of friends, like
that is,
on a general consensus thing. Don't bring one friend and have perfect relationship in your eyes to me, and then be trying to tell me I need to move like that. Bring me 10 of your friends that all their boyfriends are doing that, and then maybe I need to look at myself.
I need a wider scope.
I personally,
because then the thing is,
look at it.
Do you know what? I'll be petty because the one time that brother does something wrong, or if he cheats or anything, that was the guy you wanted me to be. Yeah. All right, cool. When can I step out?
She's setting herself.
Can we set a date
as well?
Because no. You said that was the guy. No. You didn't say generic man. You said him. You pointed at him every time. Now my man's fucked up. He's like the rest of us. How about that?
Black men don't cheat, yeah?
They don't.
I mean, I get what you mean.
Because the thing, you're not. The thing is, obviously, with male ego, you have to slalom with it because you're not.
But why? Why is it that you lot love being babied?
The thing is, it's not being.
Generalized statement.
So it's not being babied. I know myself as a man. There's certain messaging I will have to change to get the most out.
Do we not think that's
how
just
the
toxic
message is
masculinity?
delivered, though, isn't it? Like, it's not what you're saying, it's how you're bringing it to me. So like you said, maybe she didn't have the words to communicate, and the only way she could communicate was by giving another example, which is obviously her close friend. So on that aspect, I get it, where you don't have the words to facilitate what you want to say. However, don't just bring me one example, because then I'm going to get rattled by that. because
That's where my ego will speak.
That's when my ego will start being like, nah, you're mad. Like, your one best friend, she's got a man, it's going really well, and this is what you're bringing to me.
I'll just assume you
just
fancy
one.
it still.
Do you get me? It's like
off the bat.
if you come to me and you said, look, blah, 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 blah. All their mans are treating them X, Y, Z, and here you are acting like wood. You're not moving, stiff. So I would take that as a man. I would receive that message better than just like this sole one example.
1,000,000%.
Do you not also think that those examples are examples because they are few and far between? Like, no offense, I feel like I'm sending for you lot as men, but I kind of feel like, based on all of them out there, a lot of them aren't that great. So when you see one that is great, you're kind of like, oh shit, like this is what it can be like.
Well, so I'll start talking about social media and perception.
So what I say is,
I'm not even gonna jump in.
The way I kind of think of it is like, alright, cool. Say for example, I had a kid, right, and he came to me and he wanted, I don't know, like, let's make him older. He wants me to buy him a car, right? If he's talking to me about getting him a car, but the only car he showed me is a Merc or Beamer, he's really telling me that's I want that one. That's how I compute it. So if my partner's come to me and she said, listen, I'm not happy with certain aspects in our relationship, I can take that on board. But if you're telling me the things I want is from this man, all I'm taking from that is you want that man. Yeah. So you've not really delivered a message that I can really take on board. And all you're doing is you're just, like, that will feed into my ego. And that's all I'm going to take out of it. Like, rightly or wrongly, that's all I can take.
Even as a man, if a woman comes to you, because as men, we feel like we are men, even if we are doing things wrong. But if a woman comes to you and says, you need to behave like another man, that is demoralizing. Never happened to me before, but I'm just picturing if my woman came to me and she said, yo, he's doing this, that, and the other for their relationship, blah, blah, blah. You need to act more like him. I'm like, bruh, what am I doing here then? If that's what you want and that's what you require, you know,
go get it.
Go get it.
Especially,
and you're already eradicating what else I may do in the relationship as well. Just looking at the perfect, he does this and takes her out.
Because let's just for a second take away the fact of the shadiness of Jamel, etc. Because in his, we are very individualistic people. So from his point of view, from his point of view, the way, touching upon what you're saying, he's probably looking at it as, even whether he is or not, I have no idea, but he keeps saying, I'm building an empire, building an empire. So imagine you're doing that, but then that in itself ain't enough for your partner, because all she wants is quick, like, give me Gucci bag, da. But on top of that, she keeps comparing you to an ex-man.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that'll be a bit mad. Like,
yeah, I definitely see how that can like bruise your ego and probably make you want to do things less, actually. Because I think if it was me and I was in that situation, just to be petty, I'm not doing anything.
That's when I log out.
Yeah, it's like, what? All right, cool.
I'm signing out.
Yeah, go have a frupple with them.
Even if I don't tell you, I'm actually mentally slowly signing out. You've already told me, like,
you're hearing the Windows log off sign
that I want. So in my head, I'm like, okay, cool. You don't have the balls to tell me I'm not the man that you want. You're trying to tell me be like this man, but I'm not good enough. So mentally, I'm just like, ooh.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, we've been defending Jamel for a bit. It feels weird still.
No, I said he's a scumbag.
No, he is. But we was defending this point. But just to move it on a little bit, because with the unraveling of the episode, it was what were you guys getting up to, like, on the break? So for me, Jamel got mad at the wrong thing.
He showed his ass.
Yeah, he showed his ass. So it shows what he's like as a cat. Because I'm like, you should be upset, but you're upset about the wrong thing. So essentially, Deborah was like, the presenter was like, "Oh, you like dating this, the other?" I'm like, yeah, doing my thing. And you see him there, like,
dating.
Wait, dating?
Oh,
fuck. What? You were dating?
They had a break. We don't know how long for, but a break. And I think she said initially that guys were like moving to her here or there, but nothing significant. But then on the sofa in the show, the language changed from being moved to date. So
These times they're dressed in all white.
Dressed in all white. Dressed in all white, yeah?
Yeah.
Looking like
P. Diddy and something.
P. Diddy and J-Lo, like literally all white, yeah? Then he basically said to her, like, what do you mean by dating? And she was like, yeah, I just went on a couple of dates here and there. And she's like...
He's like, you said move to. She's like, well, yeah, if they moved to me, like...
Yeah, what did you think was going to happen?
What do you think would happen? Like, I got moved to.
And then he basically said, so what happened on these dates? And he was like, what people do when they go on dates? And he was like, no. Say it with your chest, like, what happened on these dates? And she's like, oh, we went out or like went to each other's house, cooked dinner, chilled out, and do what people do on dates.
So she basically saying she's smashing.
Yeah, so to a point, it's like, did you smash? She was like, yeah. And then my man...
You couldn't tell me this before we coordinated.
So my man just went, yo, you're moving like a harlot.
He called her a harlot.
You see everyone... Bro, I was watching it, yeah? Because I was eating a bagel, yeah?
That word
Imagine I was watching it. I was like... My gosh, bro. Man called her a harlot. Like...
But I'm sorry.
I could have expected anything. Jezebel, J-Bag, Hope. I was like, huh? It's like, it stung a lot more, bro. Like,
and she was pissed off because she was like, is that what we're doing here? And I'm thinking to myself, babe,
but you know what you were doing.
You just not, she knew what she was doing. Because I'm sorry, you're not going to surface explain it like, oh yeah, we were just chilling. It was nothing that deep. And now you're going to come on big TV. Man. All you came here for was to embarrass me.
You came here.
She wanted.
And you know what?
She chose violence.
But that's fine. I think that's absolutely fine because you came on national internet to embarrass me in the first place to be talking about you slept with your ex in car after 4-hour conversation. So if I choose violence, you deserve a little bit of it. However, that then shows how petty and how immature the two of them are.
Relationship
and the relationship has no... Like, you lot are children. You're behaving like children.
The foundation is built on is mud.
Because one thing you said that was...
it's mud.
One thing you said that was quite key was like, like moving forward, we was talking about being open and transparent. And yeah, so to me, it just shows that you came here to just drop a little bomb, drop a grenade, and then dip out. I can't see you guys survive because just for me, like, regardless of what I've done, I will own it. But if we're talking about moving forward and being open and transparent, and then you tell me this is what my time away looked like, but then I got to find out on the show, I'm thinking, well, okay, this is what we're doing. But this ain't healthy. All right, cool, I'm gone.
Bro, can you be mad? Can you be mad?
You can't.
You cheated on me.
No, you can't. You can't necessarily be mad still. Especially because the way he admitted to cheating on her, I'm like, did you have to take her on the show?
Exactly.
Type of thing. But again, it just shows that what they're in is toxic.
Like I said earlier, it's a petty thing. Even down to the Afro Nation, that's what the vibes I was getting from their relationship on a whole. It was
But it's interesting as well that she didn't think that he brought her on the show to come out with it. And
I can't see why else he would.
Yeah, because
it was his idea.
Like even if it's a safe space to do it.
Even if it's subconscious, he brought her on the show to admit that he cheated.
And her sitting there talking about, I know him. Bitch, you did not know him. Because when he was cheating on you, where were you?
Well, this is the thing that they kept
same
saying.
Ex he was training, yeah?
Exactly.
You even remember when he was like, when she was talking about the loud with the family, remember he's like, babes, I know you.
Exactly.
But how? You see her once a fortnight. How do you know her?
Mate, it's shoddy still.
But let's put them to bed. Because that one, well, it's not even been concluded. Waiting on the 3rd episode. So kind of touching on just Choma. Paul didn't turn up to the aftermath show. But Choma was just, she came on there to just nuke it some
She
more,
looked
spill
good
some
though.
beans.
Still,
She looked good.
she looked good.
Nah, she looked different.
She looked good.
But she came on the
She
thing
said,
of,
"What fat? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, listen,
BRB.
say naughty." But essentially, she came back and was just like, "Yeah, I'm not even lie. Oh, broke, man. Like she was saying, what
60-40,
provider?
yeah?
I was doing 60%. Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So she said apparently, like when she was moving out, so they've broken up now.
Stray letters.
When she was moving out, she was seeing all bailiff letters and foolishness. He's in debt. The debt with a capital D.
See, this is what I mean.
Them ones where you say man's in the red.
Stunt.
Is it the
for
red?
Strangers. This is what
Yeah,
It's
happens.
red debt. Yeah, man's in the red.
And this
That's what
is
it sounded like.
You can't.
But you're turning up to every show in suit and tie.
2K suit, you know.
2K suit.
He's making sure he's throwing out these numbers just to get outed. Oh man.
So yeah, apparently man's
just heaving in debt.
So, to me, it sounded like a robbing Peter to pay Paul type of thing that man's kind of might be dealing with. I don't know. But yeah, she kind of just revealed a couple of things like that. So she's moved out. She's with her brethren who was on the show as well, who had a lot of smoke for Paul, talking about, when we go out to eat, whatnot. When it's time,
he wouldn't even pick up his girlfriend's bill. Man skirts skirts off to the toilet.
Like he'll
I've
skirt
got
out
a high value client.
just saying, "Oh, what the build time? High value. So I got to go to Dubai. Bye." Like he'll just skirt.
Not even to pick up his babe's bill.
Because what she's saying is like, listen, I don't expect him to pick up my bill. He don't know me like that, but not even like the babes or not even his own bit.
But I actually think that that's mad though, because is love is the devil. Because are you really telling me you had this man just out here stressing out your entire life, embarrassing you?
I'm thinking, why did you allow him to chat that shit about all this high net worth and you have to act a certain way?
But I think also
love is a hell of a drug.
she's in love with the guy. She's obviously blinded by it, and she's there thinking, "Oh, I don't want to embarrass my man." Because as I feel like as women, a lot of the times we're really just out here painting pretty pictures over the bullshit that is our partner underneath.
What's the what's the thing that I said to you before, where it's this thing that loads of people do, right? Where you, because for all intents and purposes, at the beginning, Paul sounded like a real Prince Charming, but once things got settled, that went away. And so even when she's talking, she's like, "I know the man Paul can be." Stop that. Look at the man he's showing you now. Even when you complain, even when it looks like,
even when he drove you to the abortion.
Yeah, even when it looks like this dance might be over, he's still acting like this. And so I think, why are you still painting that same picture of him at the beginning?
I think a lot of people hold on to that because it's almost like, well, if I let go of that, then what do I have? And actually, this dating world is
slapped in the face with a wet fish. That's what you got.
Yeah, but this dating world is the ghetto. So sometimes it's better the devil you know, no?
I hear that one as well.
I think it's hard.
Too many people do that.
Yeah, like you put up with bullshit because you're trying to hold on to the version of a person that you once met or the version that they portrayed to you. And those are the little elements that you're like, "Oh yeah, but he bought me a bunch of flowers 2 years ago. And that's how I know that he cares about me."
Happen again.
These times he picked it from someone's garden.
Exactly. It was even free.
I see the movies.
One of them guys.
Trust me. You got one daffodil in there, a tulip. You got
bare fawn sticky.
Yeah, man. Bare different bits and bobs.
Oh, good.
But I almost forgot. Oh shit! Then, yo.
Go on.
Paul's sister might actually be a bitch.
No, there's no might about it. That woman is wicked. So she come on this pretense, yeah. So
she came on the show.
No. She called in.
Oh.
And she spoke to the producers and whoever and basically said, oh, you know, I'm calling because I want to apologize. I feel like I need to like squash the beef that we have, me and Choma, because obviously even though her and Paul aren't together, Paul obviously loves her. And so I want there to be, even if they reconcile, for there to be, you know, good vibes between us. Yeah. So Choma's kind of there like, I want to talk to this bitch.
Right.
But cool.
She's gonna apologize.
Because she's gonna apologize. Cool.
Uh-oh.
She then passes her the phone, and I will let you take over because.
So, no, do you know what it was? It was on loudspeaker, right? And the presenter was talking with her, and I can't remember what she was saying. But what Paul's sister. So I'm making them one entity now. But what Paul's sister was saying was she was just basically cussing out Choma. Where Choma, and say like you're the presenter, you got the loudspeaker. Choma's there like, I don't sound like no apology.
What? Them half-hearted.
Yeah, so she's talking about her when she used to be on back chat and things like that.
How she has like no decorum because why would you put yourself in spaces like that and expect people not to think that you're this or that you're that? And just saying,
you still give your kids to me.
Thank you.
So then Choma's like, yo, just give me the phone. Fuck this shit. Not even that.
Nah.
Cussed her out. Just like, hear what I'm saying, though. You're a shit mum. Like, you're shit, innit? Like, I hope you know you're shit. Like,
she came with Vim.
She came with Vim, smoke, boom, done now. Goes into the next room. She's looking at what are they, Trend Central.
Yeah.
Like, yo, what are you lot on? You lot told me I'm getting an apology. What was that? That weren't no apology.
She was like, whoever,
did you not try? Did you not?
She said,
did you not do this thing?
She said, whoever handed me the phone fucked up. And she was like, I need to speak to, what's the guy's name?
Yeah, because she was like, are you alright? Can we get you anyone?
Yeah.
She was like, no, but actually, get Andy.
Yeah, get
Andy.
I was surprised she came back because I think had the cameras not have been there, the way she would have gone off.
I can't lie, it would have been mad still.
Literally, I was waiting for her to say, you know what? This is my location. Pull up. Because I'm going to fuck you up.
Ross.
Like, I was waiting for her to say it.
I thought it was going there.
That thing.
Yeah.
Because what she was saying was right. She only done that to get the last word in. And I'm vexed that you guys have allowed her to do that.
Wait, for me, I know where you live, innit? So
I can't lie. I would
just talk.
I would have pulled up like, yo,
I would have just locked off the phone like, yeah.
Like, yo, how have I dumped your brother? Cool. But you're still trying to do embarrassment on national internet. Like, are you now? This is me and you now.
Just saying, we've coined this phrase.
Showed up outside, like
we've coined the phrase "national internet." Just putting that out there, copyright.
It's a new thing
and whatnot.
Yeah, trademark, copyright, national internet.
So
created by Rams.
So two questions to wrap this up. Because one thing that we've been talking about is like, I would have pulled up, mad, would have beat up the sister. Like, I wouldn't have taken Jamel or whatever it is. But do you think it's real or fake? Like, what are we talking about here? What you see?
EastEnders.
Have you seen EastEnders, or have you seen The Only Way Is Essex, or have you just seen like 100% realness?
So I think had it not have been for episode 6 with Choma's situation, I would have said scripted, Only Way Is Essex type of vibes. Things that these are maybe people who are in real relationships but have some issues and they're being amplified for, public enjoyment. However, you cannot come on national internet and talk about abortions as banter. Like, I can't. You'd have to be a very trash individual. And I'm sorry, but he would not get a coin from me again. And Ofcom, I don't know who would need to hear a complaint, but they'd get a complaint because are you mad? You can't have that conversation and then have a shit therapist who doesn't deal with the situation, leave somebody triggered and potentially thousands of other women who are watching it, and then be like, oh, it was for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, so for me, when I first watched it, I was like, this ain't real. I think they're in they're in real. They're actually couples, but some of the problems are theirs, but it might be either amplified or it's just been sorted out. But they're in a space where like, yeah, we can just bring it up again as if it's happening now, but we're secure there. And then maybe a couple things just sprinkled in to get us as a community talking about what relationships look like and what is healthy, what isn't healthy. Where I flipped and said, oh, no, this might be all real, was episode 6 with the abortion. Because I was thinking, nah, this one here that's too strong on the emotions that they're playing with. But obviously what's happened now is, what I forgot to say is actually Paul came out with a video, right? And what he was basically saying was like, hey guys,
I think I saw this.
Guys, we got him. Listen, Choma, Jamel, Debs, even Denise, we got them. The production we put on, my first acting gig, but we sold it. Guys, wow. I can't wait. Obviously, that's only come out with Choma saying like, oh, my man's broken it. But with that, I'm now not 100% sure whether it is real or fake. But if it is like a load of fake and it has all been scripted and they have made this up,
in a movie
then
now.
yeah, one, just give her an Oscar and then put her in some big boy productions, because she's the reason why I thought, oh no, it might be real. But also on top of that, everyone else should throw themselves in the bin. And the reason why is because, as Rams was saying, well, one, I always knew the therapists weren't a therapist because all she was doing was like
paraphrasing.
No, if I was at my brethren's yard, yeah, and him and his missus were having a mad barmy, and I was trying to play mediator, but I was fucking it up. Like, I'm asking questions that I'm thinking is helping, but it's just led to them. Like, now my man's grabbing her, and I'm like, oh, bro, stop that. Like, it looked like she was feeding the fire. She was causing a train wreck. A lot of things got hashed up. There was no resolution with anything. If this is fake as well, they created a narrative where Paul kept cussing therapy. So there's a lot of people that think what they're seeing is in some
especially
shape or
in the black community
real, and they're looking at that and saying, yeah, and they're saying, whoa, I'd never go therapy. That is madness.
And that's the reason why.
Yeah. So if this is fake, they should probably throw themselves all in the bin. Yes, you've got us talking about relationships and what it looks like, because we can't stunt. We are on a podcast now talking about it, but you've done it at the expense of a load of traumatized women that have gone through abortions, anyone that has been fat shamed or intellectually shamed in a relationship, anyone who has had any animosity or bad vibes with family members of their partners, and so much more that I can list off that you have not resolved. You just kind of dredged up. And on top of that, you've done it off the back of rubbishing therapy. So to get us talking like this, you've done it at the expense of these other things, especially where, looking at therapy, for example, it's not in the place it should be in the black community. So that's kind of how I see it. But I just need to know, is it real, is it fake? Before I can truly say kind of what I think of it.
But do you think they will ever really tell us? Well, I mean, we're waiting for episode 3, but part of me feels like the suspense is going to be there because they're going to jump off the back of it and it's going to keep people talking about it.
I think if people ask the right questions, like we are, because then they probably have much more of a moral obligation to say, oh, actually, because for example, if this is fake, what they should have done is just put a little disclaimer. Because for weeks, like, people weren't even bothering about the actual problems. It was whether it was real or fake. So you'll have a large cohort of people that'll think it's what they're seeing is real, and that was a real like, I'm seeing people saying, oh, she could be an actress and a therapist too. Like, no, she's an actress. She's not a therapist. Like,
I mean, if you've ever been to therapy, you know she ain't a therapist.
Well, even from the point where, what was it, when Deborah put her phone down, down and was like, yeah, there's my phone. Where's your... A therapist would have shut that down.
Yeah, straight.
Would have shut that down. That's what you're doing ain't healthy. Like we said before, what is looking at the last few messages show.
Situations escalate as well. Like, yeah, as a therapist, you're supposed to be the mediator and direct those conversations. Whereas sometimes, yeah, I thought she was helping to escalate the situation, asking provocative questions as well. So yeah, my conclusion, I thought it was real, to be honest. Until the talk of it maybe being fake came out. So if I was just going off my initial thoughts, just watching as a consumer, I was like, rah, these are going through some shit. Like, this is madness. And that's what engrossed me to watch it more, because I thought it was a real situation. Whereas if I looked at it as fake from the outset, then I might not have been so invested in it. Because I'd have been like, this is a puppy show. She's written that in to get that kind of reaction, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think I would have taken it so seriously. So yeah, I think up until now, this point, it's real still.
Do you think
Paul's saving face?
Do you think this is a reflection of like relationships in like our generation now, like a true reflection?
Yes.
I think it has some big similarities, because obviously we're living in a social media era. So yeah, I think a lot of relationships in this day and age do go through similar challenges that both couples went through. So yeah, I do think it's a fair reflection.
I think that's also why it's really hard to find the line as to whether it is real or fake, because it is like, these are conversations that I've had with friends, or like, you know, we've all had some sort of experience that fits within the rhetoric of the show. And I think that's why it's hard. And I don't think they're ever going to tell us, because we'll still be talking about it.
And similarly, just like you said, if they did come out and say, oh, it was fake, like, as you said, if you knew it was, you wouldn't have watched it.
Definitely.
So yeah. But yeah, I do think it is probably speaking to the zeitgeist of what relationships look like today. But it depends on who you are. Because when I was watching episode by episode, like, I was genuinely saying that can't be me. Like, that can't be me. That can't be me. That
would never be me.
That can't be me, man. Like, some of these things are just real trivial things that I would have nipped in the bud with a conversation. So some of these things would have never got in there.
And I think that's the biggest message in this show around like relationships, and the fact that like most people nowadays don't understand how important communication is and what that actually means. So you lot are talking about each other and around each other, but you're never talking to each other, and then wondering why your relationship ain't working. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I think that's a very sage point to end on.
Definitely. Well, yes, people. I've been the realist one, Jay.
Lengman Joseph from around the ways, aka Joey Leng, but just call me Joey, please.
And just little old Rams.
Thanks for coming on, by the way.
Yeah, who's blessed to have on today. Thank you.
Thank
you. It was big.
It was good vibes. Good vibes.
Blessings.